between an ambitious crossover and falling has. First off, for ambitious crossover, we have the undermined integrity. Piloted by Kira Wanai, we have dual Artemis on the left of this junker, Gatling on the front, Gatling mortar on the right. Their ally, the Zombanana Turtle, piloted by Eitril, Hades dual Artemis Mobula, flare gun on the far left with light carronade as close range option on the right. For their opponents, Falling has, we have a dual Hwacha Gatling galleon with left side, two more Hwachas, rear flare gun, and finally the beta, piloted by complete Gatling Artemis with an Artemis on the front, and on the right side looks like Gatling light flak with Hades shots already moving. Zombanana Turtle has already taken center map position here. Looks like team's going to be fighting over this piece of terrain as they all rise up near the flight ceiling. That is something with the Junker coming back, even without this restricted rule set, the recent buffs to the Junker, as well as taking the Judgment out of competitive play, have really made the Judgment a new threat in a way that it hasn't been in a few years. So one of the things, one of the big weaknesses of the Junker is having those weapons on the lower deck means that it really hurts those upward arcs. So in a Junker, generally in most ships this is true, but in a Junker especially, you want to be maintaining that high altitude position. So you see Undermined Integrity moving in from above, Queen Kerwin's Revenge, Hwacha Barrage, gonna force them to Hydro out. And Galleon's gonna be the big bruiser here. They're gonna have to do a good job protecting their ally because Beta already down to 25% permanent health. Looks like they're gonna try to move underneath the Mobula, but I don't think the low forward charging speed of the Junker is going to allow it. As Zombanana Turtle drops down to intercept them. The Luna of the Junker is down, so the collision goes into the hull armor. With those unarmed Hades shots. Artemis, I think, was not in arc for a few seconds there. And next armor break going to be at Queen Kerwin's Revenge, just a little too far to do any real damage. You see, some of those Hwacha connections are connecting. Of course, Hwacha connection would connect. Some of those Hwacha shots are connecting, and I think that's going to be it. Gatling gun, no. Undermined Integrity just moves out of, looks like Gatling arc. But Zombanana Turtle able to finish them off, putting the first point on the board. First point on the board. I'm sorry, my window is open. For ambitious crossover, and probably a second one here too, as Galleon not going to be able to escape from a Mobula and a Junker, and his upward position from the mob going to make it difficult for the Galleon to engage with their Hwachas, and they're just going to get picked away. Gatling Hwacha does come out, but doesn't really matter. Junker on their own going to be enough to finish off this Galleon with the Artemis, and 2 points. Very clean engagement for ambitious crossover, as the Beta has taken east spawn here. This is the protected spawn, so Red's not gonna pounce on them immediately. They'll have a few moments to be able to regain their composure. However, they will be spotted as well. But yeah, Red Team's they're not gonna have time to close the distance before the Galleon comes back in. Queen Kerwin's Revenge and Junker probably need to maintain a tighter formation. Otherwise, the red ships are just going to simply outmaneuver the Galleon's Hwachas, because what's the team called? Falling has elected to bring this Hwacha only Galleon. They don't have a long range side. It means that the angles, the specific arcs, ranges that the Galleon's able to engage in are pretty limited. Hwachas is not a great mid to long range weapon, so if the Junker stays a little bit closer to the Galleon, allowing the Galleon to be able to utilize the Hwachas a little bit more, because that last fight was pretty much a straight duel team in the favor of Red. This is one of the reasons we typically don't see the 4 Hwacha Galleon very often in competitive play. Despite the fact that it's a very popular build for newer players, because they they like the line gun. Pew pew. It's fun to shoot, but it's not effective in all situations. as now Queen Kurman's Revenge has found a position below Zombanana Turtle, rising up here, popping that hydrogen. Blue team going for the dual focus, but Beta already lost their whole armor, already taking big Artemis hits, and they're already down. So what looked like an opportunity, blue team Falling has going for a maneuver there, almost getting the dual focus, but unfortunately Beta was just taking too much damage, whole armor too low, and by the time the fight started, by the time the Galleon was in position to actually hit that Mobula, Junker was already pretty much dead. And this is bad. This is probably going to be match point for Ambitious Crossover. Because without the Junker, without the ally helping to dictate angles and distances, the Junker and the Mobula are just going to be able to outmaneuver the Galleon. The Galleon's never going to get a good broadside Hwacha barrage. However, Junker has elected to spawn in close. I don't think this is a smart plan, because Queen Kurman's Revenge, if the pilots for blue are communicating, then the Beta's pilot would know that the Galleon was at about 5% health, and there was no way they were going to be able to survive through that, regardless of the close spawn. So a little ambitious, let's say, for blue team. And now Beta's going to have to try to sneak away, and they might be able to do it. They're in the spawn puts you at a very low position, and because Ambitious Crossover was maintaining the altitude advantage, there is a lot of vertical distance between the two teams, so I don't think Ambitious Crossover is going to be able to drop down quickly enough to capitalize on this kill, so it seems like they're content to wait for the Galleon to spawn back in. And Galleon does spawn, split spawn from blue team. Spawning to the south here is the Queen Kurman's Revenge, as red moves around the terrain looking for a spot on Beta. They know Beta is there, but they don't know their exact position. I think Joker might be trying to sneak away. Galleon is spotted. And we might see a flank play from Falling Has. Slowest flank of all time in the tanky Galleon, already taking a lot of damage. Beta a little far out. Queen Kurman's Revenge doing a good job balloon blocking some of that Gatling fire, so not gonna lose armor just yet. Beta may have an opportunity to rejoin them before they get mowed down, as Undermined Integrity charging forward using the dual Gatlings. Armor's gonna go down quick here for the Galleon. Mortar shots coming in, connecting. Galleon getting picked away. 30, 20, 15, 10% health left on the Galleon. They get the armor back up, but is it too late? I don't know how they're going to be able to keep this armor up in the face of the dual Gatlings from the Undermined Integrity, and that's going to be it. Ambitious Crossover taking the first match of today's tournament. They will be moving on to the second winners round to play against Chocolate Shoulders, which I believe is being led by The Man. Player name The Man. Well, Falling Has is going to fall down to the loser's bracket, so we'll probably be seeing more of them on the secondary stream, and maybe later in the tournament, depending on how they do.